Okay, hey guys, it is the next episode of COVID Chats. I am here with Amber, aka the really real mama. And I think from our previous little conversation that we had before we hit record, that is an accurate statement.
I think so. I mean, I just revealed that I had HPV at one point.
You're like, hey, we can talk about STDs. Everyone has HPV. And I'm like,
Yeah. Like I always say, I mean, I don't have it anymore. I think it's actually like you can cure HPV. I hope my mom doesn't watch this. But yeah, I mean, it's like that's why they have a vaccine, for crying out loud. Like it's like one of the most common, if not the most common STD. And when I was diagnosed, when I was like 23 or 24, I was devastated. I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then I remember I called one of my best friends from nursing school and I was like, Hillary, I have HPV. And she's like, yeah, well, so does every other woman in like the universe. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. So anyway, but I think I've been cured.
I think it was like a 3-round like vaccine when it first came out. I was like 16. I think I like missed class and went to some, I don't know where my mom took me, but it was like a free clinic with like a line all the way outside, and they just come up, wipe, stab, and then you come back. Yeah. Then they come back and do it again. But yeah, I had that.
So you got the vaccine?
Yes, like years ago.
Okay, years ago. I'm like way older than you, apparently, because it wasn't even around when I was that age.
Like what, 14 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 41, so.
Oh my God, your skin is so good.
It's a camera. I got the new iMac, and I'm like, I got on the camera and I was like, oh, okay, too bad.
Perfect. Well, so some things that you're known for is you are a mom, you're a wife, right? Yeah. And you have a podcast.
Yep.
The Really Real Mama. So pick one and expand on it. I want to know.
Pick one? Oh God. Well, you didn't mention psychopath. I'm like a total lunatic. I'm an overcommitter. So I'm just like, and I'm also a Gemini, so I have.
No!
Oh yeah. Are you?
Sorry guys, we're gonna end this.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding.
Like the psycho Geminis that have split personalities. Yeah, and it's true. It's like I have this like academic, intellectual side to me, and then I have this performer, entertainer side to me. And you know, I think I have to have both of these personality traits moving at all times. Like one of them makes the money, and then the other one fills up my bucket. And it's really, I think, the core of who I am. But yeah, I mean, the mom thing, obviously, that's a huge part of who I am. I have 3 daughters, and my oldest is 18, going to be a freshman in college.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so she's starting at U of O, and she's going to do online, which kind of sucks, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. And then I have a 5th grader and a 2nd grader.
Oh my gosh. So have you guys started, your younger kids, have they started their virtual, or are they doing that?
Yeah, virtual hell. They haven't. They start next week. And so I was able to pull together a cohort of kids. And so, and we hired somebody, because most of the families in the cohort are dual working families. And so we hired like a tutor teacher, and we're going to have school in our garage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds awesome. We were looking at like the little pods. I guess it's probably the same thing.
Yeah.
But it just, some families are really skeptical, and we had a hard time finding some families that were, one, open to it, but two, in the same class. I think the class size kind of dropped this year.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I think yesterday was my son, who's starting first grade, his first day online. And it was just like a shit show. There were kids that didn't know how to unmute or like mute
Oh
themselves.
God.
Like,
Oh,
Bob, Bob, you hear this kid's yelling. My son's like, I have anxiety. It's a little
oh,
chaotic. I'm sitting here like,
oh, I have anxiety too.
but thankfully, yesterday I was not working. Today was learning how to navigate working and doing all of these things. And so it was just like, I was just telling you, it was just insane. I wake
Yeah.
up, it's like wake up, breakfast. He does his online hangout with the kids. Then he gets picked up by grandma so I can go to a fitting, but then I come back. I do my Zoom calls, but then I also have the orders to fulfill for my business, pick him up, taekwondo, eyeglass fitting, dentist, and then we're home. And I'm just like, and I
You're
like
just like,
drink. So I'm like, where is
no,
it?
it's really something. I mean, it's just survival.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, motherhood is survival anyway. And then all of this on top of it is really just taking it each day at a time. And, I mean, we're all doing the best we can,
Yeah.
right? And, but yesterday or 2 days ago, I went to pick up all the school supplies because we start next week. So we picked up devices and school supplies. And so it was like a drive-through thing. And so I pull up and these two teachers come out with the bags of things for my two daughters. And then the other one has a Home Depot bucket. And I was like, what is that? And I look inside and there's drumsticks, like for a drum. And she's like, it's a drum. And I was like, no, I don't want that. Please, no, please don't put that in my cart. Don't put it in my cart. And she's like, you have to take it, and like throws it in my cart. And I was just like, no, like, are you trying to kill us? Like, you're trying to kill us.
Oh,
like, you're going to give my kid a fucking drum. I'm sorry. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, you can swear.
Okay. Like, are you trying to kill me? This is like, this is death right here.
No, we have a keyboard that I bought headphones to plug in. So he'll just do all these things, and I'm just like, put it on.
You can't do that with a Home Depot bucket. And so I was like, dude, I'm not doing this. Like, I am not doing this. So I hid it. First of all, I hid it in the garage because if my youngest Virginia saw it, she would be like all over it. So I'm going to take it back to the school with a sticker on it that says return to sender.
No.
I was just like, I'm not doing it. Just not doing it.
God.
Yeah. That's a lot.
And then, so I wanted to go pre-law. I think it was like so amazing, but already having my son, I was just like, can I? And I chose to not do that. Yeah. So what kind of law do you practice?
So I was actually a nurse before I became a lawyer. And I never thought that I wanted to be a lawyer. My dad's a lawyer. And I was like, these people are miserable. They work all the time. I mean, my dad is like, he's one of those that just loves the law. Like, he's like a total nerd and just loves quoting the Constitution. And so I don't know, I just never really thought about it. And then I went out and practiced nursing, and I got out and I was like, wow, there's this really interesting intersection between medicine and the law. And at some point I was like, well, I'm just going to go to law school. So I did. And here I am 13 years later, 12 years later. And so I do a lot of healthcare law. So I represent a lot of doctors and nurses and physical therapists. I go up against the government a lot. And I do a lot of small business. So that's actually, I mean, I like what I do. The small business stuff is really rewarding. And I especially like to help female entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's
So it's
amazing.
exciting. You have your business. That's great.
Yes. It just, so modeling's been like my main thing for like 6 or 7 years now. But
Same.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's just like so limiting, especially I'm approaching 30. And
Oh God.
I know.
Ooh,
Ugh.
up there.
Well, there's things that like for my own aesthetic or things that fill me up that don't really fall in line with being represented by an agency. Like if I gain 10 pounds, I don't care. I love tattoos. So I I want to get it without being like, is this gonna affect my paycheck? And so
Yeah.
like, I want to get my boobs done, like I want to just be able to be authentically myself. And so I just was sitting a couple months ago and was just like, what do I love to do? I love business. I love the fashion industry. How can I kind of and I literally just watched a bunch of master classes and was like,
Yeah.
basically, and then just did it. And just opened up a clothing store online, and it's been really awesome so far. And I'm stoked to see it grow, but it is a lot of work.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself working mainly after your kids go to bed? Because that's kind of been my thing.
Well, my kids are, they're older.
Yeah.
I do. I mean, I work all the time. I'm at my desk. Like I live here.
Mhm.
I try, I started my own practice about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And since that time, I've had a lot more flexibility. So I've tried to be a lot more present in their lives. Whereas before I was working for big law firms and they just fucking destroy you. I
Yeah.
mean, they just destroy you. It can be pretty hard to be a present parent and be working for some of the big firms. So yeah, I mean, I'm just like, it feels like I'm constantly working, but then I'm trying to, I set aside time each day to be present with them. Like the mornings, I usually get up before them,
Right.
start to work. We do the breakfast thing. Everybody goes, I've got help during the summer so I can work. And then, dinner time, we always have family dinner. That's super important to me. And then after that, I'm usually working. Yeah.
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 That's kind of been the work-life balance.
There
I'm
isn't
learning
one.
now.
There is no work-life balance.
No, there's not.
Doesn't exist.
And I'm learning now, especially if you own your own business, and I'm sure you understand your own practice. It's like, if you're not working, you're probably losing money in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. So I'm like, oh yeah, I could take time off and do all these things. I'm like, well, who's going to be doing X, Y, and Z? So if I'm, if the party that's I'm being invited to or whatever, not during COVID,
Yeah.
isn't that important, then I'm going to be home, crunching numbers, doing things like that. So
Yeah, I mean, being an entrepreneur, like from the outside, it looks really sexy and fun, and it can be fun. There's a lot of satisfaction in doing your own thing and being your own boss. But at the same time, I mean, it can be pretty relentless,
yeah.
and it's a lot of work. And
Mm-hmm.
when you go on vacation, you're not really on vacation because you still have to deal with shit and yeah, I mean, so it doesn't, it's work that kind of follows you everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, with with quarantine and kids being home, and now thankfully school's starting, what were if you have a story or two of like where you really just wanted to lose your shit? Because I've seen on your Instagram where you were like banging up against the glass, like, no.
The white flag, just like
Help.
help. God, I'm trying to think of my husband and I went back to marriage counseling, so that's been really helpful. When I'm trying to think of like a breaking point.
Oh God, I couldn't even imagine maintaining a relationship during that.
Yeah,
Marriage.
my friends that are divorce attorneys are like, we can't, like, we're so busy. I mean, divorce is like, it is real right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I do have a meltdown, or if I feel like I'm going to have a meltdown, I usually go in my closet. And although it's like my youngest, especially Virginia, all kids have a radar. Like they have this like sensor that goes off in their brain, where it's like, if you take a minute for yourself, they're like, mom took a knee. Where is she?
Yeah.
I need to find her, and I need to ask her something.
Yeah.
So it's like she always finds me. But yeah, I mean, I've taken a lot of walks. So like just giving yourself a minute to breathe, and giving yourself a minute to, I don't know. I mean, I was texting with my friend this morning, and she's like, I just feel like I'm not doing a good job at anything. And I'm like, we all kind of feel that way. So especially right now, like we're all sort of questioning, am I being a good mom? Am I being, good at my job? Am I being a good friend? All of those things. And just, try to give yourself a break.
Yeah.
Because
what about, I mean, this is getting into your business, but
yeah.
Sex life during COVID, existed or not? I mean, maybe it's there, but sex drive isn't there.
I mean, certainly at the beginning of COVID, I was like people were talking about like, oh, there's going to be all these COVID babies. And I'm like, what? What? Like, who is having crazy sex right now? Because it's not me. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Right.
Like, no, we're not having crazy. God. But I mean, I would say marriage counseling I'm a huge proponent of therapy just in general, and for individual therapy, couples therapy, whatever. And I always tend to feel my sex drive always tends to go up once we've if we have like this time where are disconnected, and then we come back together emotionally, then my sex drive inevitably will go up. But when I'm like super overwhelmed and super tired, I mean, it's like,
no, get away from me.
Yeah, I just want to watch Married at First Sight and go to sleep.
Oh my God, it was so good.
I didn't watch it last night. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Wait. I don't think I'm caught up. I'm on the one where I was the douchey basketball player. Do you remember him?
Wait, is that the latest? You're not watching the latest season?
No.
Oh, okay. There's been like 100 seasons. I haven't seen them all.
Oh, this dude was such a freaking douchebag. I was just like, and I'd be sitting there like, oh my God.
What are you doing?
But the girls are like, I want to make this work. I'm ready to put in 110%. And the guys are just like, I mean, it's lit. Yeah. They were just so like not invested.
Well, it's like they have to have their token douchebag every season, right? And they have one on this season, and he's just a complete dick. And the girl is so sweet, and I'm just like, really, guys? Like, you're really kind of screwing these girls, pairing them with obvious douchebags.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I just like to zone out at night and literally just shut my brain off and go to sleep.
That's one thing I found frustrating is I've been reading all these like articles of when you start your business, and I swear to God, everyone's saying like, Netflix, turn it off, get some rest, focus. You got to make these sacrifices. I'm like, fuck you. That's like how I stay sane. As I'll put it, Shameless is my shit right now. I have binge watched almost all 10 seasons. But I think I work better with it on, so I can look up. I don't feel like I'm just like hunched, like crunching stuff.
Yeah. I mean, everybody has to do what's right for them. And,
right.
Your story is going to be different than her story and her story and her story. And so, I mean, you're writing your own story right now. So just do it the way you want to. Of course, there we go. Now my thing is sorry.
There's no one size fits all formula of how to get through parenthood, career, nothing.
Yeah. Everybody has their own dynamic. Everybody has their own shit that they're dealing with. And you just deal with it and you do it the best way that you know how.
Yeah.
Right? No judgment. Like, you do you.
Absolutely. I will stay focused on my lane, and I don't understand during COVID. It's a lot of like, have you started a business yet? Or what have you been doing with your time? You see all these like memes of like, this is a perfect time to, work on yourself, but that looks different for everybody. If just getting out of bed to brush your teeth and put on a clean t-shirt is what you did, that's awesome.
Yeah.
There's no way to succeed or, set yourself apart of how you got through like the pandemic.
Right. And I mean, even the most, even the most successful people are floundering. I mean, everybody's floundering.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, give yourself a break.
I want to make sure that we touch on your podcast, because I know I want to make sure that I put that in below so people know how to find you, but also what is your content like? Like what do you do on there?
What do I do on my podcast? So I would say my podcast is sort of an extension of my Instagram, which is just like what you're doing here. I mean, just chatting with people about, a lot of it's about motherhood, about relationships, about life. I had Dr. Callie on to talk about her work, and that was awesome. And sometimes I do them by myself, or I just try to tell funny stories or just kind of talk about what's going on in my life. I try to keep it funny and lighthearted, and I really just want my platform to be a place where people can just kind of escape and laugh and just have fun. Because especially right now, like anytime, I mean, laughter is just healing, right? And it can be so unifying. I always say, if you go to a comedy club and, you look around the room, there's people there from all walks of life, right, all genders, all races, different socioeconomic status. I mean, just whatever. And they're all laughing at the same joke. Mm-hmm. Like that's what laughter can do, is just really unify people and bring them together. And I mean, there's physiological things that happen in your body when you laugh. And anyway, I think anytime, but especially right now, people need a release. They need to laugh. They need to just take a minute. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I try to do.
Where can they find you? Are you at Spotify, Apple, or?
I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple, iTunes. I think iHeartRadio. And then there's other platforms that I don't even know. You have, I mean, when you do a podcast, you have this like hosting platform, and then it spits it out to all these.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's other ones that I don't even know what they are. Okay. But yeah, I would say iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio are probably the top three. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. It was the Really Real Mama podcast.
The Really Real Mama podcast.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen to it. And
thanks.
As the viewers, I'm really excited for you guys to check out your Instagram, your podcast, what you do. She posts hilarious videos. You'll have to check it out. The skating one, I was like, I relate to that. But, we lost you. You're frozen. Well, Amber's frozen. So, but we were concluding anyway. I'll give her a second to see if she comes back. But if not, make sure to check her out. And then thank you guys for watching. Be sure to stay tuned for the next 2 episodes. I have a lot of exciting guests coming, and I will see you guys